Welcome to the UG Public Health Department weekly video update. Today we are talking about a milestone that we've hit in terms of COVID vaccinations in Wyandotte County and an update on gathering guidance. It is October 14th. I'm Janelle Friesen, the Public Information Officer, and I'm here with Juliann. Do you want to say hello?
I'm Juliann Van Liew, Director for the Unified Government Public Health Department. Thank you for joining us again.
All right. Do you want to talk a little bit about this milestone that I mentioned?
Absolutely. We are very excited to be able to say that our data shows that at least 50%, probably a little bit more, of our population in Wyandotte County has received at least their first dose, at least one dose of their vaccine. You might see a little bit of data discrepancy because we just have access to the data for folks who got vaccinated in Kansas. So on the CDC site, it shows that we're closer to 54%, which is great, but we can now confirm with the data we have available to us that at least 50% of our residents of all ages, not just eligible 12 and up, but all ages have received at least one dose. And this is a huge deal. We know we'd like to be further towards herd immunity. We know our community would as well. But this is a milestone we're celebrating because it represents a tremendous amount of hard work. And hard work, not just on behalf of the health department and our employees, but hard work on behalf of our community, on behalf of our community partners, of the many businesses and churches and neighborhood groups and nonprofit organizations who have stepped up and either helped us host a vaccine event or encouraged their members or their community around them to get vaccinated. So for us in the health department, this is really a community-wide achievement that deserves recognition.
It's pretty exciting. We got to celebrate those milestones along the way. I know we still have further to go, but that's great to hear. So I know we've made some other improvements when it comes to kind of the status of COVID in Wyandotte County. Can you talk a little bit about what changes we've seen over the past couple of months?
Absolutely. We're also happy to be able to say that we're finally coming out of Delta to some extent. We, of course, are not over it entirely. We're not over COVID by any means, but we have come down tremendously from the very high case rates we were experiencing due to Delta 4 to 6 weeks ago. So whereas 4 to 6 weeks ago, we were up to about 100, 105 cases a day coming through, we're now down to between 25 and 30 cases a day, which is a significant improvement. Our percent positivity is also down by about half. It was up 30, 35% again 4 or 6 weeks ago, and it's down to 17 or 18% positivity on a 7-day rolling average. So all in all, things are moving in the right direction. We are also working hard with our schools, and they're finally starting to see a little bit of fewer cases of COVID among their student bodies. We have experienced a number of small clusters or outbreaks in our schools, but they've been great partners in mitigating those, and those cases are going down as well. And I can also say that metro-wide, including the facilities in Wyandotte County, our hospitalization rates from COVID are also down, including our pediatric hospitalizations, which is very encouraging. So all of the data, all the metrics that we tend to look at day over day are showing that we're moving in the right direction. Things are getting better here in Wyandotte and in the metro.
It's a relief to hear that the numbers are going down like that after the surge that we saw. I know back when cases were getting so high, like around August, September, we put out some gathering guidance that was, fairly intensive in terms of being careful about social gatherings. Can you talk about what it means now for gatherings in Wyandotte County since we're seeing those improvements?
Absolutely. So as Janelle mentioned a ways back in kind of the surge of Delta, we had put out some recommendations. They weren't requirements, but they were recommendations for how you should gather if you're going to gather. And we had really recommended against large gatherings of anything really over 25. We had asked folks to try to stay away from. Due to the progress we've seen in the reduction in cases, we now feel comfortable pulling back on those recommendations. And really at this point in time, we don't have a new set of gathering requirements or recommendations other than to say, please keep adhering to those same measures we've been talking about. It's safer to gather if you're outdoors rather than indoors. It's safer to gather if everyone is vaccinated. It's safer to gather if folks are wearing their masks. So No formal recommendation will replace our previous set of guidance or recommendations, but we just ask folks to keep being smart, keep doing what you're doing to limit that spread. But feel free to have those small gatherings with your friends and family, especially as the holiday season is approaching.
All right, thanks for that. Yeah, we can't totally throw caution to the wind, but we can still gather and have some time to enjoy, and especially now that we're seeing things improve. All right, well, we're going to wrap up for today. We're going to put some links in the description to where you can find out more information about vaccines. Maybe if you haven't gotten vaccinated and you're still thinking about it, go ahead and take a look, and we'll see folks next time.
Thank you. Take care.